the meme factory. Today's news with a satirical twist. Today in politics, Mitt Romney had embraced a budget plan that would entail cutting federal programs other than defense and social security by more than half. Great, good, we're going somewhere, finally. But that does beg the question, how do you plan on doing that? To which Romney answered he'd eliminate a bunch of different governmental departments. Okay, but here's the catch. He wouldn't say which ones. Why? Romney was quoted earlier in saying, when I said, for instance, that I wanted to eliminate the Department of Education, that was used to suggest that I don't care about education. Probably because you don't care about education. Why else would you get rid of the Department of Education? Romney was also quoted in saying, one of the things I have found in previous elections is that announcing my plans to people will make them want to vote against me. Well, why is that? A, your plan sucks, or B, people are really stupid. It's probably a bit of both. So according to Romney logic, the best thing to do is to advocate reduced spending while declining to furnish the details until a later date. Notably, after he's been voted into the presidency. So that's basically like saying, hey, I have a great idea. Okay, really? What is it? I can't tell you, but I'm telling you, it's a really great idea. How do you know we're gonna love it? Because it's a really great idea. Oh God, I'm sorry. I'm allergic to bullshit. The sad thing is, Republicans have already used this tried and true strategy. Especially in the Reagan administration, they generally steered clear of coming out and actually saying what they want to do. Okay, fine, you know what? That's politics. You don't need to be transparent. You want to be elected. Generally steering clear of coming out and saying they won't specify their cuts. Romney, this is the part you're not supposed to admit. In all honesty, I never thought Mitt Romney was the greatest politician in the world anyway. I'm just hoping he and Santorum will Hunger Games their asses out of the election. Speaking of which, the Hunger Games have just come out, which I haven't seen. So not like I can give it a decent review. However, it did pull in $155 million their opening weekend, making it the third biggest gross movie this year behind Harry Potter and The Dark Knight. Dark Knight wasn't this year. Whatever. Third biggest grossing movie. Okay. Although according to the internet, the cast sucked, cinematography sucked, and the characters sucked, the creators somehow turned a movie that was supposed to be based on people killing each other in a giant arena into a PG-13 movie with like 2 drops of blood in there. It's become one of the most popular movies of the year. Speaking of movies, multi-millionaire badass James Cameron just embarked on the deepest ever solo subdive with what was known as the vertical torpedo. Oh my God. So fucking awesome. After reaching the bottom after a 2-hour and 36-minute descent, the National Geographic explorer and filmmaker typed out the words, "All systems okay." Folded into a cockpit, as cramped as the Apollo capsule, Cameron is likely collecting data, specimens, and imagery unthinkable to the rest of the scientific world today. What would I do if I was down there? I'd probably play Xbox. So here's my question for you, world. What would you do in a submarine for 6 hours on the bottom of the ocean floor alone? That could get really dirty. In other news, it is time for the Dick of the Day segment. Yay! Oh shit, I moved it. Right. Arizona Representative Terri Proud. Doesn't that name just piss you off? Kinda wanna slap her face with a smelly fish. Yeah. According to her, women should have to watch an abortion be performed before they can legally get one themselves. The Arizona legislature is considering at least 2 bills that would strip funding from Planned Parenthood and that would significantly limit women's access to abortion by banning it after 20 weeks of pregnancy. But for some, this doesn't go far enough. So Terri Proud decides to say that we should have to watch an abortion happen before we can legally get it. That's like saying, because I want to have a steak, I need to watch someone slit a cow's throat. No. Earlier she was quoted in saying, personally, I'd like to make a law that mandates a woman who watch an abortion being performed prior to having the surgical procedure. If it's not a life, it shouldn't matter. If it doesn't harm a woman, then she shouldn't care. And don't we want more transparency and education in the medical profession anyway? We demand it everywhere else. Proud made headlines earlier this year when she sponsored a bill requiring the Bible to be taught in public schools. Big red flag in the first place. Today, Terri Proud continues her proud tradition of being a dick by co-sponsoring a measure that would allow employers to opt out of covering birth control in their health insurance plans. No pun intended. That pun was so intended!
I don't even know how that turned out. We'll see how that turned out.
Okay. So that's all I have for you today, world. This is Alexandra Cardinale, and you just watched The Meme Factory. Feel free to follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Vimeo, and somewhere in that deep, dark abyss of the internet covered in cobwebs and dirt is I think a MySpace in there somewhere. But whatever, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all in my next show. This is Alexandra Cardinale, signing off. Noodle. The end.
We rob from the rich and blow down the door. On to the next.